Hi, and welcome to an introductory lesson to this course that you have decided to take. And it's going to be a journey. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy bringing it to you. But to start off with, I thought I would like to just read a short little piece of prose by a lady by the name of Portia Nelson. And it's called Autobiography in 5 Chapters. Now, these aren't long chapters, they're more like sentences. But as I read them, I suggest you go to this place which I'm describing, okay? And imagine yourself in this place. So, chapter 1, I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm hopeless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in it again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. It isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. So there are lots of observations and thoughts relating to this short little piece of prose. And I suppose one of them is that we need to take responsibility for ourselves. And in the first chapter, they were blaming everybody else, blaming circumstances, blaming life. And it was taking them a long time to get out of their hole because it was all outward focus. It was everybody else, every situation. So it's taking full responsibility for the street you've walked down, the hole you've fallen in, and for the recovery journey out of that hole. And this course is going to be a course where I'm going to give you a few principles on how to dig yourself out of that hole. The second observation is there's a moment of self-awareness, and sometimes we have to have that moment of self-awareness on a regular basis, and coming to terms with how we've still fallen in the hole, and we need to start digging again. But Portia was saying, my eyes are open. And we find that quite a few times in the Bible. And when there's stories such as the story of the prodigal son, where he got down into his hole and suddenly he became clear about what had happened. And even also the Apostle Paul, when he was on the road to Damascus and had this major experience with Christ, and he had to go and get some healing, and his eyes were opened. And we all need times, I believe, that when we need to come to a point where our eyes are open and we see the circumstances and we see that we need to do the work. It's not everybody else that needs to do the work. We need to do the work. And a final observation from this little story is about agency. Now, agency is the capacity to act independently and to make choices. So agency is all about saying, I have responsibility to do what I need to do, to take responsibility. I have agency. We're going to be talking a bit more about this in some of the other chapters in this course. But it's my responsibility to make my choices. And I'm the one that's got to dig out of the hole. So interesting little piece of prose, isn't it? So in this course, I want to offer up some reflections of what I have learned personally as I have dug and I continue to dig out of the hole. Also, observations and reflections upon what I have seen in others' journeys out of their holes. With over probably 20, 30, 40 years of or maybe 30 years of experience of working with people with major mental illnesses as a support worker, as a pastor, chaplain, and then through my writing, coaching, observations that I've learnt that really do truly work and have helped people. So that's what this workshop is going to be about, this course is going to be. But it is your whole, it's your responsibility, and there are others that will be helping you. And I'm going to talk about that more later on in the work in the course when I start talking about the nest. And so people like your family, your friends, your work colleagues, and there's also specialists such as doctors, nurses, counsellors, all sorts of people will come in to actually help you to dig yourself out. But the big focus in this workshop is around making small, tiny, incremental changes in your life that are what I call millimeter ministry. And it's those small millimeters that actually do make up the change process. And little daily habits that just build up over time. And they're very highly achievable for you and anyone to do. And it'll be ones that you make for yourself. And so we're going to be talking about that a bit more. So the content in the workshop is short videos, because I like short videos rather than long videos we have to watch for long periods of time, which I'm going to put into audio files as well. So because sometimes we don't have the ability to watch something, whereas we prefer to listen to it again and again. I do this all the time, every day. When I'm working, I'll be listening to audio stuff, whereas visual, I have to watch it. So I'm going to be putting it into audio version. Also into a transcript or written content, so you can read it and reread some of the things I share and talk about. And in that transcript, there will be also some little tasks, some questions, some ideas that you may want to put into your life. So it's all about taking this content at your pace. So again, I'll say at your pace, and it may not be the pace that other people will take it. And this is something I've found so often, is that people try and push you and push you and push you to get the content and to work at it, but you've got to learn at your own pace. This is not something to be rushed through. And look, there is no time limit. You can take years to do this workshop if you want to, or you could do it in a few days. But slow and low is actually probably going to get a lot more results for you. And you can come back to this content, consistent, content many times as you like. And by the way, there's no pass or fail. I'm not going to grade you as to whether you've got the content or not. There's no A plus, B plus, D minus, or whatever. There's no grading. It's you and this journey and this content, how you want to take it. And the other point I'd like to make is that if there's something that I share, or I've shared just within this small video here, that sort of grabs your attention, that's, you go, oh, that's interesting. I may need to, okay. Just pause, okay. Take note of it, because that little nugget, that small little millimeter of information might be something just for you that you particularly need to take note of and to take into yourself. So often when, say I've been in counselling situations and we've been having a conversation and the counsellor might say something and I go, I'll say, okay, I just need to write that down, or can you write that down? And so they write it down, or we write it down, and then I can take it and I can go home and I can chew over it or ruminate on it and ponder over it more and more, and so it becomes part of my learning process. And I journal about it. And so again, if something grabs your attention, take note of what that is, because it may just be something that is very special for you. and it's something that you need to just pause and consider a bit longer than just let it flow by. The other thing is, I'd encourage you to email me, to contact me and talk to me about what you're learning in the course, questions you might have. The email is barry@turningthepage.co.nz, and I just love to hear from people who read and watch and listen to my content. It really encourages me and helps me to keep going. And it gives me, I suppose, those little insights into the struggles people are facing, and it helps me to put my content out in ways that people are actually going to understand the deeper things that we're talking about. It's so easy to create content that is too much or too big or too heavy for people, whereas what they actually need is something a little bit honed down to their particular needs. And so when you email me, that's what I'm looking for. And as I read it, I'm like, okay, have I missed the target of something? Is there something learning that people need to have that I haven't touched on, or I need to approach it from a different way? So please email me. I really do enjoy hearing from my viewers and readers and listeners. And so that's the introduction, and we'll get on to the next workshop. Okay, bye.